Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Pro Revenge. In today's episode, you're not giving me an ETA for a fix. I'll flood your ticketing system. You make me do all the science fair project. I'll throw you under the metaphorical bus. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. You're not giving me an ETA for a fix. I'll flood your ticketing system. At first, I thought that this story would have been more suited for r/Petty Revenge. However, after reading r/Pro Revenge Rule 1, in order for your story to be pro-revenge, it should involve you going out of your way and going above and beyond to get revenge. I decided that it's better suited here as I feel that I clearly went above and beyond. Hopefully, you will find this story as amusing as my friends, and I find it 10 years later. This happened around 2012. Back then I used to live in Southern Europe, one of the Mediterranean countries. I was a university student in a remote, rural place. I had just moved to a new apartment and, naturally, my first order of business was to make sure that I have a running internet connection. The problem was that, due to the place I was living in being so remote, there was only one ISP provider available. You didn't like the provider? Too bad. Anyway, I signed the necessary paperwork in time, moved to the new place, set up the router and all, and thankfully my connection is fine. That is until day 3 or 4 when out of nowhere my internet connection dies, but my phone line was working normally. Okay, no probs, I call the ISP to open a ticket. The representative tells me that they will get back to me soon. A few days pass by and I get nothing, so I decide to call them again. The representative tells me that they are still investigating the problem, and that they will get back to me soon. Now, this is the point where I'm starting to get frustrated. I know that the internet in the area is fine. In fact, my next door neighbor's internet connection is great, so the problem must be something that is easily fixable, right? Wrong. A week has passed by and I call them again. This time the representative tells me that they have investigated the issue, and the problem is officially of unknown origin, which means that they cannot give me an ETA for the fix. I hang up the phone feeling sad and perplexed. As I contemplate my internetless existence, the representative's words echo in my mind: unknown origin, we cannot give you an ETA. Slowly, my sadness transforms into denial. How is this possible? My phone connection still works, so the line is still there, and I know for a fact that everyone in the area has a stable internet connection. This must be a simple bug that is easily fixable. This can only mean one thing: some mofo has not been doing his job correctly. The denial becomes anger. How dare they tell me that they cannot give me an ETA? This should be illegal. What if my job depends on my internet connection? Not to mention that internet access is a basic human right. They are denying me my rights by not giving me an ETA. At this point the issue stops being the internet connection, it's about the principle of the matter. As a human being and a customer, I am entitled to an ETA. I call the ISP again, and I try to explain my flawless reasoning. No luck. The poor representative who listens to my rant tells me that the only thing I can do is to open a new ticket. Shocked by my inability to define my fate, I accept his offer and hang up. And then, a magnificent idea is born. Since the only thing that I can do is to open a new ticket, then this is exactly what I'm going to do. From that point on, I was calling my ISP provider 2 to 5 times per day. Each time, I was telling the representative the same thing: this is what has happened, I know that there are multiple tickets with my name on them already, but I want you to open a new one. Most of the representatives were pretty amused by my story. Everyone complied. A month later, yes, a month passed without the issue having been fixed. I get a call from the regional tech executive of the ISP. The call goes like this: Executive, you must stop opening tickets, you're flooding our ticketing system. At first, I was shocked at how aggressive the executive was. He was clearly one step away from starting to calling me names, and I knew that the only reason this didn't happen was that these calls are being recorded. And then my shock transformed into a visible glorious erection. You see, my friends, this is the point when I realized that I was winning. Me, well, are you going to give me an ETA for a fix? Executive, we cannot give you an ETA, the problem is of an unknown origin. Me, then I guess I'll keep opening tickets. Executive, hangs up. To cut a long story short, this exchange renewed my passion for crushing the souls of those who have wronged me, so I kept opening tickets at the same pace for another 30 to 40 days. I estimate that in the course of the total 70 days that this lasted I must have opened more than 250 tickets. One day my phone rings. I pick it up and it's an ISP representative who tells me this. Mr. U/Lexmeet, is this you? Your problem has been solved, everyone at ISP name is talking about you. Indeed, on that day my internet connection was back. The cool part about this, however, was that I had internet all along. Remember my next door neighbor? She was kind enough to let me know her Wi-Fi password since day one. You make me do all the science fair project. I'll throw you under the metaphorical bus. So this is a bit of a read, name. Also, I tried posting this on Petty Revenge, but it didn't work, so please tell me if what I did was petty or pro-revenge here. Cast. Pathological liar. Sheep boy. Amazing teacher. Me is starting to SAV. So this story happened when I was in 7th grade. During that time the school district had all students participate in a mandatory annual science fair, from elementary school up to the end of middle school. The idea was to get students interested in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math fields and occupations. After participating in science fairs for 6 years, I was used to the usual rigmarole that a science fair project entailed. I come up with some, hopefully unique, project ideas, most likely the very original electricity from a potato project. I make a hypothesis, collect data, pay the school or Home Depot $10 to $20 for a science fair board, tape up charts and diagrams to the board the night before presenting, and then rinse and repeat for the next year. However, this year my class was doing things a little differently. My class had the honor of being the first to be selected to participate in a virtual science fair. So basically we were voluntold. No one in our section of the district at that time did a virtual science fair before, so we were signed up as guinea pigs to test it out. If that wasn't good enough, my class also had to promote healthy collaboration amongst students, so we were assigned to do projects in a group. Now I hate group work. I always got the short end of the stick in a group. Either my group gets stuck with someone that skimps out on work, and the other group members, and I have to cover their portion, or everyone in the group except me avoids work like the plague, and no matter how much I urge them to participate, I eventually have to do all the work myself to maintain my precious grades. I was a straight A student at the time, so any group work assigned to me was a threat to my grade and my sanity. If I ever got less than an A on any assignment, my mother would ask me, "Why didn't you get an A? Sonny boy, do you need help at school?" It drove me insane since I wasn't failing. Anyways, the online science fair was pretty simple. As a group, we were assigned access to a group science fair board that we could fill out with our results, figures, hypothesis, etc. We were to have certain parts of the project, like the discussion, done by particular dates to get points towards our grade. The overall project was due in 2 months, and then we were to give a presentation. Amazing teacher was brilliant. She wanted us to record our project progress in a composition book in tandem with the online portion, which she would review during our presentation in 2 months. I believe this was to help us keep track of notes in case we forgot to log them into the computer later, but it was used by me as a tool in my revenge. I was paired with Pathological Liar and Sheep Boy, who I was kind of friends with. We brainstormed and settled on testing the performance of an individual in exercise before and after they drink an energy drink. This was in part influenced by Monster Energy drink just becoming popular and Sheep Boy parents getting a new home gym. I thought it was great since I was playing football at the time and wanted to work out more. Also, Pathological Liar, Sheep Boy, and I literally shared every class together, and lived within a mile of each other, so it would be super easy to communicate. However, Sheep Boy and Pathological Liar never seemed to want to talk about the project. After 2 weeks of radio silence from Pathological Liar and Sheep Boy, I finally corralled them in one place and suggested we meet up at Sheep Boy's house that weekend to start the project. On the day of the meetup, Sheep Boy's mom had to go grocery shopping or something, so Sheep Boy was out. Undaunted, I told Pathological Liar it'd be fine if we work at my house and researched other studies on it to get the ball rolling. But Pathological Liar never showed up that day. So I decided to confront him on our walk home from school the next day. Oh my god, if you heard what came out of this boy's mouth as an excuse. While we were literally within spitting distance of my house, Pathological Liar said he couldn't come over yesterday or today because his grandparents had gotten into a plane crash. I was flabbergasted and exclaimed, "What? Really? But I didn't see anything on the news about a plane crash." Pathological Liar responded indignantly, "Plane crashes happen all the time starting to SAV. They're not all going to get reported on. Their plane struck another plane on the tarmac and then rolled over and snapped off both wings." Me, insert surprised Pikachu face. OMG, I'm so sorry. Did they die? PL, what? No, why would they die, idiot? Anyways, I can't do the project this week. See ya. This little turd then ran home. After I got home and deduced that he just fed me a sack of crap, I just said whatever, and filed out the preliminary sections of the project and wrote notes in the composition book to at least ensure we had something to turn in next week. I was willing to give the group a second chance, cause maybe their busy middle school lives were swamped. After another 2 weeks of attempting to coordinate my group, and getting them to at least contribute a page or two to the report, we finally decided to meet up at Sheep Boy House again to start collecting the data. We actually all showed up this time, and Sheep Boy's mom had bought the Monster Energy drinks we needed. Pathological Liar started to guzzle them because he wanted to test out the drinks first. Sheep Boy showed off his new home gym, and then got us to play Smash Brothers for half an hour. I didn't want to play at first, but then decided to lighten up and we could do the tests afterward. After coaxing my group back to the gym, Pathological Liar just rambled and chit-chat. Me, trying to be pragmatic, said, "Hey guys, why don't we start our exercise now and record some data, and then afterward I can school y'all in Smash Brothers?" Sheep Boy looked willing until Pathological Liar sighed out, "Oh my god, starting to SAV, sigh hi, we didn't invite you out to do this stupid project, we invited you to hang out." Sheep Boy's attitude did a complete 180, chiming in, "Yeah, we don't want to do the stupid project now." I was seething. Pathological Liar spouted a load of bull. This wasn't even his house. I was the one who organized this get-together to collect freaking science fair data. I was the one herding these sheeple around. OMG. The second chance I gave them was taken, and then stomped all over the ground, and they weren't getting a third one. I relented and said, "Okay then, let's just hang out then." When I got home that night I was angry, and I used that anger to fuel my revenge. I conscripted my parents to the science fair project, and they helped me collect the data I needed by volunteering to work out and drink energy drinks. The data collection problem was solved. Once I got enough data, I wrote down everything for the science fair project in the composition book. I even uploaded everything to the online science fair board. I created all the PowerPoint slides and scripts for the presentation. Over the next few weeks leading up to the presentation, Sheep Boy and Pathological Liar didn't even ask about the science fair project. They had no intention of doing any of the work. Although my anger fueled me to get the project done, I wasn't finished. I did the pettiest thing I could think of and signed a corner of the composition book with, "Starting to SAV did all the work." I knew that amazing teacher would be checking our composition books while we were presenting the project, and I couldn't wait to see how Pathological Liar would try to weasel out of this one. On the day of the presentation, Pathological Liar and Sheep Boy were nervously fidgeting at their desks because they didn't have anything prepared. I strolled in and told them to relax since I made a PowerPoint. They relaxed, not knowing how stupid they were going to look while presenting. How dumb they looked when we started presenting to the whole class. I had already memorized the slides and my script and was effortlessly strolling around the room, making eye contact, and delivering a killer speech on the science fair project. Pathological Liar and Sheep Boy just read off the slides with deadpan expressions with their hands in their pants not moving an inch. I was relishing this, all the while gleefully peeking to the back of the classroom where Amazing Teacher was reading through our composition book. Amazing Teacher would stop our presentation every once in a while to ask questions and compare with what was written down in the book. But once the bomb dropped, my blood ran cool with maniacal glee. I saw it stop and read a corner of the book. She then read it out loud, starting to SAV did all the work. I felt Pathological Liar and Sheep Boy grow cold next to me. PL, that cunning fox, stammered out well. Yeah, he worked on that section, Mississippi. Amazing Teacher brought her glasses down to the tip of her nose and stared at Pathological Liar over the rims and coolly stated, "So you're telling me that starting to SAV was just signing his part of the composition book, and that you all wrote in here equally?" Pathological Liar, "Yes, ma'am." Me, shrugs. At this point I wavered. I didn't want to feel the social wrath from them, or their friends for stepping out and challenging Pathological Liar's lie, so I stayed silent. At least I embarrassed them for a moment. After my crowning achievement of embarrassing Pathological Liar and Sheep Boy, I thought nothing would really come from it, but boy was I wrong. After grades were released for the project, I was totally bummed out that I got a 96%. It wasn't the perfect A that I was hoping for and knew my mother would be asking me, why didn't you get an A+? Why didn't you get a 100%? But then Sheep Boy and Pathological Liar ran up to me with their eyes wide with terror asking, "What did you get for your grade?" Me, I got a grade. Why? This is how my snarky but avoided answering questions on my grade. Pathological Liar, Sheep Boy got a 66%, and I got a 48%. I was shocked to hear that, and then I figured out that Amazing Teacher must have interrogated my group mates on the project separately and awarded them the grades they deserved. OMG, my petty revenge tanked their grades. The science fair project was alone 25% of our total grades that year. I was so grateful that Amazing Teacher saw my frustration and punished them.